Principal insults. Poor student finds out who's waiting in the office. The halls of Ridgewood High buzzed with the energy of a new school day. Students shuffled to their classes, their chatter filling the air. Among them was Liam, a shy and quiet boy dressed in worn-out clothes and carrying a battered backpack. Liam was known for keeping to himself, his meek demeanor making him an easy target for bullies, and occasionally even the adults in the school. Principal Henderson, a strict and proud man, prided himself on running a prestigious institution and often judged students by their appearances. Seeing Liam pass by, Henderson's eyes narrowed with disdain. To him, Liam's untidy appearance was a reflection of laziness and a lack of discipline. That morning, Liam was called to the principal's office after accidentally spilling water on a classmate's homework. Nervously, he entered, his small frame trembling slightly under Henderson's cold gaze. "Do you not know how to behave, boy?" Henderson snapped. "Look at you. You can't even manage yourself, let alone respect others." Liam stood frozen, unable to respond. The insults came fast, each one more humiliating than the last. "You're a disgrace," Henderson spat. "You'll never amount to anything looking and acting like that." Little did the principal know, someone very important was waiting in his office. And when the truth came out, Henderson's arrogance would come crashing down. Ridgewood High was a school of contrasts. While many students came from affluent families, a few, like Liam, came from underprivileged backgrounds. Liam's mother worked multiple jobs to support them, often sacrificing her own needs to ensure Liam could attend school. Despite their struggles, Liam was determined to do well. Liam's life wasn't easy. He often wore the same set of clothes multiple times a week, and his classmates never let him forget it. "Hey, Liam, do those shoes come with holes or did you add those yourself?" a group of boys teased in the hallway. Liam ignored them, keeping his head down. Principal Henderson, who was known for his no-nonsense attitude, often overlooked students like Liam. To him, appearances were everything. He believed a polished student body reflected well on the school, and Liam didn't fit the image he wanted to project. That day, when Liam accidentally spilled water on a classmate's homework, the student exaggerated the incident, claiming Liam had done it on purpose. Henderson wasted no time calling Liam to his office. The office was an imposing place, filled with certificates, awards, and framed photographs of Henderson shaking hands with prominent figures. The principal sat behind a large desk, his chair towering over the small wooden one meant for students. "Sit," Henderson ordered as Liam entered. The boy complied, clutching his frayed backpack tightly. Henderson launched into a tirade. "This school has standards, Liam, and you're constantly dragging them down. Look at you, your clothes, your attitude. Do you even care about your education? Or are you just here to waste everyone's time?" Liam opened his mouth to respond, but Henderson cut him off. "Don't bother. I've seen kids like you before. Always making excuses, always causing trouble. You'll never make it far in life if this is how you present yourself." Liam's eyes welled up with tears, but he refused to let them fall. He knew he couldn't explain his situation. Not to someone like Henderson, who wouldn't understand. The principal's words grew harsher. "Do you think this is a charity? That we're here to babysit you? If you can't meet the school's standards, maybe you don't belong here at all." Liam felt a lump in his throat. He wanted to defend himself, to explain that his mother was doing everything she could just to keep him in school. But he knew it wouldn't matter. Henderson had already made up his mind about him. The humiliation didn't stop there. Henderson brought up Liam's academic record, pointing out every minor mistake. "You're barely passing, Liam. And now you're disrupting others. I should suspend you right now." The principal leaned back in his chair, satisfied with his scolding. He was about to dismiss Liam when his secretary knocked on the door. "Sir, someone's here to see you," she said. "Tell them to wait," Henderson replied impatiently. "They're already in the office," the secretary said hesitantly. "And they asked to speak to you immediately." Henderson frowned. "Fine, send them in." Liam turned to leave, but the secretary stopped him. "You stay," she said softly. Moments later, the door opened, and a tall man in a crisp suit entered. His commanding presence filled the room, and Henderson's expression shifted from irritation to confusion. The man introduced himself as Mr. Carter. "I'm Liam's uncle," he said firmly, his gaze locking onto Henderson. Henderson's eyebrows shot up in surprise. He hadn't expected anyone to stand up for Liam, let alone someone so authoritative. "I understand there's been an issue with my nephew," Mr. Carter continued. "I'd like to know what's going on." Henderson hesitated, suddenly unsure of how to proceed. "Well, Liam has been causing disruptions," he stammered. "He spilled water on another student's homework." Mr. Carter raised an eyebrow. "And that warrants this kind of treatment? Insults and humiliation?" Henderson shifted uncomfortably in his seat. "I was simply addressing his behavior. Discipline is necessary." "Discipline is one thing," Mr. Carter interrupted, "but belittling a child for circumstances beyond his control? That's unacceptable." Henderson's face turned red. He opened his mouth to argue, but Mr. Carter cut him off. "You might not know this, Principal Henderson, but Liam's family has a history of overcoming adversity. His mother, my sister, worked tirelessly to put herself through college. And me? I'm the founder of the Carter Foundation, which funds scholarships for underprivileged students." The room fell silent. Henderson stared at Mr. Carter, realizing too late that he had gravely underestimated Liam and his family. "Do you know how many schools we support?" Mr. Carter asked, his voice calm but firm. "Ridgewood High is one of them, and I have no problem pulling our funding if this is how you treat students." Henderson's arrogance crumbled under Mr. Carter's unwavering gaze. "Mr. Carter, I assure you," he began, but Mr. Carter held up a hand. "Save it," he said. "I'm not here for excuses. I'm here to ensure my nephew is treated with respect." Turning to Liam, Mr. Carter placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "You're going to be fine, kid. Don't let anyone make you feel small." Liam nodded, his eyes brimming with gratitude. Mr. Carter then addressed Henderson one last time. "I expect you to apologize to Liam, and I want to see real changes in how you handle situations like this. If I hear of any more incidents, I'll make sure the school board knows about it." Henderson nodded, his usual confidence nowhere to be found. "Of course, Mr. Carter. I'll personally ensure it doesn't happen again." As Mr. Carter and Liam left the office, Henderson slumped in his chair, realizing the damage his actions could have caused. This story is a powerful reminder to treat everyone with respect, regardless of their circumstances. Principal Henderson's judgment of Liam based on appearances and assumptions nearly cost the school its funding and reputation. Liam's story also highlights the importance of resilience and support. Despite his struggles, he remained kind and humble, qualities that earned him the admiration of those who truly mattered. Mr. Carter's intervention showed the value of standing up for what's right and ensuring that every child has the opportunity to succeed without fear of discrimination or mistreatment. In the end, the lesson is clear. Never underestimate anyone. Every individual carries a story, and often it's one of strength, courage, and determination. Respect and kindness should always come first.